we go to our first speaker, who is John McLoughlin, Branch Secretary for Hamlets Unison.
Good evening. It's fantastic to see many people here. I want to start in a. Can you hear me? What with the mic? Is that okay now? Yeah. Okay. I want to start in a slightly unusual way, which is to stress that I'm speaking in a personal capacity, not on behalf of the union of which I remember Unison, but myself. But in saying that, in a way I want to make an even more important point. Because tonight is not a meeting about whether or not you supported Luke Farrar in the last election. It's not whether you're on his side or Labour. It's about something much bigger. And that's about a question of democracy. Because can it be right that one Deputy High Court judge can set aside the voices and votes of 39,000 of the voters of Tower Hamlets? Who is it who should elect the mayor? Is it a judge? Is it Eric Pickles? Or is it the people of Tower Hamlets? And some people say, well, a judge has made a ruling. And you know, judges are always right. Well, I'll refer in a moment to the judge's references back in history to the Irish people and some of the judgments implicitly draws from that. But I would say to the judge, if you think judges are infallible, like the Pope, go and ask the Birmingham Six or the Guildford Four or any of those other people who have been subject to miscarriages of justice carried out by a judge. And if you think that this judge is above bias and that his judgment is so fair and balanced that it can't be challenged, read the judgment itself. And it reeks, in my opinion, with racism and Islamophobia. You see, when he talks about electoral law, he goes back to the laws that were made to prevent Catholic priests influencing Irish people when we were still under the full occupation of the British Empire. And he talks about Catholic voters being men of simple faith, much less educated than the clergy who influence them, men whose natural instinct would be to obey the orders of their priests even more than their bishops. In other words, we Irish were stupid and did whatever our priests told us. And now he leaps forward. And in the 21st century, you can find another group of people who are the same, equally stupid, equally easily influenced, and they are the Muslim Bengalis of Tower Hamlets. And this is what he says. He says, you must distinguish between a sophisticated, highly educated and politically literate community and a community which is traditional, respectful of authority, and possibly not fully integrated with the other communities. In truth, when I read that, the only surprise is he hasn't tried to make a ruling that Bengalis shouldn't be able to vote at all, because they're not sophisticated enough. He's trying to disarm us. He tries to disarm us by saying that he'll be accused of racism and Islamophobia, and therefore we can't say it. Well, I have to say this, Judge. If you use racist and Islamophobic arguments, you will be accused of being racist and Islamophobic. And I say to people in the Labour Party who have backed this up, you should be careful what you wish for. Because if you think it helps any progressive people to have Eric Pickles impose commissioners against elected people, you are living a dream world. It's interesting, you know, two new commissioners. One is an ex-policeman. It's funny, we've got an ex-firefighter, head of the fire service, an ex-policeman. I don't know what they know about running local government. We're missing a general and a colonel. That would make it a complete evening. But look at the people they appoint. The other person they appoint is a man called Alan Wood. And it sends shivers down my spine, because one of the things you must notice, these commissioners, why a policeman? Is to create the idea there is so much corruption in Tower Hamlets, only a senior policeman can get in there, investigate and turn it out. Why Alan Wood? Alan Wood is the man they send to put right children's services in places like Rotherham and Birmingham. It creates the idea there's something rotten in our children's services. I'll tell you this, the services for young people in Tower Hamlets are among the best in the whole of the United Kingdom. Setting these people up is setting up an attack on all of us in Tower Hamlets. I've been asked to wind up, so I'm going to say just one other thing, see. The man is presented as a dictator. and it said he's overturned some decisions by officers. Well, I'm a trade union official, and I work under the mayor, and sometimes I have to campaign against decisions that it looks like he can make. Thus, before Christmas, there were cuts announced of our nurseries, of our children adults' mental health. We organised, we campaigned, we rallied. We did it outside the town hall. The mayor didn't say, we're not having anything to do with you. He changed his decisions. He overturned the decisions of officers. And surely that is what an elected mayor should be able to do. Where's the decisions? I'm going to finish by saying this. Tower Hamlets has a long and proud tradition. We've stood up to the establishment at times, and we stood up against racism and Islamophobia. It's what has created what's best in this borough. I would urge everyone, do not let them take away our democracy. Do not let them divide us. Do not let them stir up racism and Islamophobia. Let's stand together, defend democracy, defend the right of the people of Tower Hamlets to decide for ourselves who governs us.